Hello fellow nerds out there, my name is JJ and welcome to my channel. Today's video is a spoiler video on these two comics. Mostly this, but a little bit of this. So, if you haven't read this book, get out of here. This is your last warning. Don't say I didn't tell you. This is all out spoilers. This is my spoiler talk, and we can talk in the comments below if you want to discuss about this issue at all, because this is a very discuss-worthy issue. First off, one of the things I'd like to say is this wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. I mean, like, I'm thinking if what happened in 698 didn't happen with Doc Ock getting into Spider-Man's body, if that didn't happen, this might have had a bigger impact. But with this right now, it's just like, we knew it was coming, we just didn't know if he would lose or not. Say like if Norman Osborn came in and like saved the day, or Miguel O'Hara, even though I wasn't a huge fan of Miguel O'Hara coming in, because so what, it's not that big of a change. You might say a few different words here and there, but that's about it. But that's another thing I'd like to say. Norman Osborn, he was not in this book. They set him up in this book, and like, he escaped the hospital, and he wasn't even in this issue. They didn't even mention him whatsoever. Like, they really should have done something with that. There's a lot of strings that are just dangling now in The Amazing. If this was supposed to conclude, if this is supposed to be an ending point, it didn't do a very good job of ending it, at least. But it did do a good job of setting up for Superior, because Norman's going to be in Superior somewhere, and so is the Miles Morales thing that they brought up in Spider-Man. A lot of stuff will be in Superior, and I've never been more excited for that. So I'm excited about that. And another thing, I was wondering, what's going to happen with those villains that helped him out? I know Scorpion, he's probably dead. I know if you like knock someone's jaw off, they'd be out of there forever. Like, I think he might be dead. What's his name? The Trapster. He got taken in by the police, and Hydro Man, well, oh yeah, he's in a little, like, this size. So, the only thing that's going for him is, I mean, the Doc Ock Spidey is, even though he pissed all those guys off, and they're pretty powerful themselves, it was Spider-Man who did that to him. It was Doc Ock who sort of set him on that path. So they're not mad at Spider-Man, they're mad at Doc Ock. So, what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, Peter Parker, I feel, is going to sort of became Ben Parker, his uncle, in this issue, because in Amazing Fantasy number 15, the very first issue, Spider-Man could have saved Uncle Ben's life, but he didn't. And in this issue, Doc Ock could have saved Spider-Man dying in his dead body, but he really didn't. So I feel that he's going to be basically maybe his moral that he has to go for, almost in the Ultimate Universe, how Miles has Peter to look up to. Doc Ock might have him to look up to. And I think there's going to be some of the Peter Parker in Heaven stuff, because in this issue they showed it when he died the first time, and now that he's officially dead, I think they might go back to that every once in a while. Not a big thing in every issue, but it'll come back. And I don't know if this would have been if they would have made Superior if not for the Marvel Now, because it was pretty good timing on Marvel's part, I'll tell you that, to do this. I think they might have done 701, and it would have been his story maybe until 800 or something, because I don't know, it just didn't seem like Marvel wouldn't do that if it wasn't for a big event like Marvel Now, which is what I'm sort of glad about Marvel Now. Introduced some really good stuff, and never been more excited for my new Marvel books every week. And also, another point that I'd like to make, everyone's been saying, don't worry about him dying. He'll be back. You don't got to worry about him dying. He'll be back just in time for Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't think that's happening. I think Dan Slott, he's too smart. Like how he sent out the direct message that he messed up about Miguel. That was a big throw off, and he's done a couple other things in the past, like saying that, well, don't get too upset about Doc Ock being Spider-Man. There's still 2 more issues to go in this arc. It's only the beginning, so don't get too mad. But he's a very notorious trickster, and if he knows everyone's saying he's not coming back, I mean, he'll be back in time for Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think he'll do it deliberately just to piss those people off, because he's pretty ballsy. He doesn't really care what other people think. He's glad when people praise him, but if people like piss him off, he retweets that. He retweeted some of his death threats before they got really vicious. So he's like one of my favorite. Like he's like a celebrity writer. On all the interviews, he's so gracious. He's so like friendly and all that. I follow him on Twitter. He's hilarious. Like he really is. He gets Spider-Man, and he even said he's sad for what he did, but it's a story progression. Peter Parker wasn't doing anything before this, you know. He wasn't. It's not like the Peter fans were all super happy about what he was doing. The people getting mad at this mostly are people who haven't read it in a while and going, "Where's my Peter? Where's my Peter?" But you haven't read the book in so long. Why are you getting pissed about it? You know, it's just a thing that just sort of pissed them off. Like, I don't want Peter dead, and I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good ending. So let's get on to this. This issue pissed me off. Okay? I was really fine with Amazing Spider-Man 700. I almost wish I didn't read this book. Like, the more I think about it, the more it just pissed me off. I wasn't that pissed. Like, it's a good, like, bridging point, but it just, like... Okay. In this issue, Doc Ock, it looked like he learned something. It looks like he's really gonna go out in life and be a good person. But in this, he's a villain. He's a villain in his body. He's going blah ha ha after he killed him. He was sad after this. He knows all the things Peter's gone through. He's sad that he couldn't save him in time. But with this, he's just... you can tell these are 2 different writers. Dan Slott gets Doc Ock Spider-Man. This guy doesn't. Yost, get out of here. If Dan Slott was writing this, then we'd have 2 really good, amazing, superior Spider-Man stories going on. But as it is, it's not good, and this makes me afraid for all the tie-ins. For like, I'm sure Mark Waid, he's a competent writer. He'll know what to do with it. But some people, like the girl doing Journey into Mystery, that book hasn't been getting the best reviews. As soon as he gets in there, they're going to have him evil. And I think in like Avengers, he's going to be all evil. And that's no good. You come to this story to see his redemption, to see what he's going to do to try to be like Peter. He's basically the Miles Morales. He's new in the body, but this guy does know what to do. He's like Miles Morales if he had all the training, but just had the backup of Peter Parker. And he has a better advantage. He has everything Peter Parker did. Everything. And in this, he's just like, oh, I'll date Mary Jane. I'll make better costumes. He's a piece of shit Spider-Man. No one likes him. I'll be 100% better. Screw him. And that's just stupid. It just, it didn't get Spider-Man. It's so obvious these were made by 2 different writers. Obviously. Sorry, my rant is over, but this issue, amazing. Best issue Dan Slott's ever written. It had such a grand scale, such epicness. You need to pick this up. Oh, and another thing, before I forget. They just released, before I filmed this video, the 2nd printing by Humberto Ramos cover. It's paying homage to Spider-Man 300, where he's doing like the... I don't know the iconic pose just off the top of my head, but I know it's the iconic pose, and they even did it for one of the Spider-Man 700 variants that I want to get now, because they're doing the same thing but with Doc Ock. Like, it's Doc Ock's fat old body, not the decaying one, but what he looked like first appearance. He just swinging like that. It's an awesome cover. I'll link it in the down bar or wherever the hell it is now. But it's a really cool cover, and even with all my complaints about even this piece of shit that doesn't understand it, I'm still going to be picking this up to see what kind of stuff he does with Wolverine and the X-Men, the Future Foundation, and Thor. But If it doesn't get me, if this Yost guy keeps pissing me off, because I know he's a fine writer, but with this, it's like he doesn't understand Superior. I know it's a new character and all, but Dan Slott should have given him a memo. I'm getting off track. I'm getting off track with this book, but pick this up. I'm really excited for Superior. I can't wait. It's going to be great. All you guys, pick up Superior Spider-Man. Apparently it's supposed to be something real big is going to happen, because Dan Slott was saying all the people that said they're jumping off with this, you're going to want to jump back on for Superior after the first issue. So pick this up. Pick this up if you need to know Doc Ock's transition. If you just need it. If you can't look up online what happens, like how he makes his costume and all, don't get this. This guy doesn't understand him. Maybe after the origin, after he's just Spider-Man and all he has to do is dialogue, he doesn't have to have all this fucking internal dialogue about him that he doesn't realize. Maybe that would be better then, but until then, if you need to pick up this book, get it, but if you weren't planning on it, don't. Just look up someone's review of it who goes into detail. Check out the Comic Cast too. I know they do in-depth reviews with all the panels, so you don't even got to read the book. He likes it, I'm pretty sure, but I've even seen some other reviewers say they're two different books. It's two different characters. And if this was Scarlet Spider or something, maybe if it's a whole different person, he can write a whole different person. If it's Venom, he could write a whole different person. But it's the same person. They're two different. I'm done ranting. I'll do a comment thing. Write in the comments, what you want to see in Superior. If you like this book, just have a discussion about 700. So thanks for watching, and subscribe and comment later.